Hello, my name is Nicolas, or also known as Nico. I'm from Bogota, Colombia, and I decided to move to the UK in September last year in order to pursue a master's degree in digital marketing. I decided to move it here especially to gain more knowledge, learn from different perspectives, follow new paths, and also try to find new opportunities. I'm a really true believer of the power of diversity and inclusion in every aspect in life, no matter what. And that's why also I think it's important to learn from other backgrounds, cultures, and knowledge across the world. That's exactly something that I've been founded over here in over my time over in Nottingham Trent. The chance to interact with people across the world when they have different points of view, different cultures, has been a really fundamental step on my over my time here, and also is something that I've been interested by during my whole life. Since I was a kid, I always had that desire to move in across the world and to have that experience to go overseas and to have some knowledge and experience at some point. So that's why I decided especially to move it here. As an international student, I have to say that my expectations before to move here were really high, especially because so many people when you're overseas tends to say like, okay, the education in the UK is really high, so to be honest, the bar was really high for me, and I was really expecting for the best. When I arrived here, I discovered so many aspects of the things about the place that I was about to be involved with. A whole different culture, a whole different environment, the weather, some different challenge that when you are from other country and you move here, you found it really challenging. But other than that, my time here has been really special. And I think right now, since I'm a bit more mature, I even have the opportunity to enjoy as much as I can my experience. When I was back at home, I used to work for TransUnion, which is an American company that is in charge to produce insights and information based on the data to provide credit and fraud prevention information to companies across the world. It's a B2B business, and I used to work there for a marketing role. I've been learning a lot of things while my time there. So the step that I decided to move the things on and leave my job behind and to move it here, it was especially to be focused on my personal development as well, not just only from the professional side, since it's true when you have a master's degree, you always will have some kind of new opportunities, and that will be open a whole window of possibilities for you. But beside of that, I just wanted to discover more about myself and to see how I would be able to improve that from different perspectives. So at first, I just wanted to focus on the reorganization side, since I just was leaving literally a leave behind me to just start a new chapter in my life. It was super essential for me to be more able to perfection those kind of spaces and to say how we're gonna go back to our routine in order to start again to do like a proper time tracking and time management, if that makes sense. So other than that, I also wanted to reassure those kind of my powerful assets, which I know and I'm confident that I have and I've been having for a while. So that was a really good opportunity over this time here at Nottingham Trent. So it have been really challenging, to be honest, not just for the whole moving process and everything, but when you have your first approach with something that you don't know exactly how to expect, it could be a bit hard and a bit unpredictable. So I was literally prepared for the best. So moving on, I was just like trying to figure it out and how we're gonna pursue that desire to perfectionist all of my personal side and to keep developing working to be at the end of the day like my best version of myself. So between the moving process and the start of my master's degree, everything starts to become really in a fast phase. So over that period, I've started to realize, okay, I need to figure it out in this new context. What would be specifically my main strengths and my weakness from the other side? So I was looking to work around that, and in order to be as much organized as possible, have that opportunity to prioritize tasks and to have a better time management and everything. So I was trying to look around and to figure out how would it be possible to do that. So this module basically have been providing me some really good tools into the PebblePad platform. When I have the chance at the beginning to do a kind of a self-examination of myself and to get some diagnosis and to say, okay, this is like my main strengths that I found really interested in with the insights that I gained at the end of the test. For example, at first I found one of the main assets from my site. It was the emotional control. Second one, the personal resiliency. And third, the temperament management, which are three of the main things that I know really good with it. So having that chance to see a full test and a full diagnosis on what is the reason behind it and how I can be able to keep strengthening that, that's a really good thing that helps me to say, okay, how I can boost these really good features of myself. So from the other side, I've seen also that evidence of the time management of prioritization, because it's not always true that you have the ability or the opportunity to prioritize, because in some scenarios I've always been the kind of person that tends to say yes to everything and to everyone. So when you do that kind of comparison and you say, I can be that Superman that are able to do anything at the same time and play with different roles at the same time to keep just the ball rolling. So that is clearly an aspect that I've been know for a while that is a kind of opportunity to improve. So even when I used to work for TransUnion a while ago, sometimes I used to say yes to everyone and to say like, okay, I'll be happy to do that, I can do, and I will be doing this and this. So I really am conscious right now, and after all of the exercises with the tools that have been provided, I also identify that, okay, this is the kind of diagnosis that I have now, and this is how I should be able to improve that. So right now, that when I look back then and I've seen, okay, with the new timetables, with the modules progress, when everything starts to be so fast, you need just to figure it out. Okay, I can need to say no sometimes. So to be honest, it's still like a work in progress, but I think like with the pass of the time, I start to become better and better. So right now I can say that I not feel like overload anymore. I mean, at some point I will because the master's degree is challenging. The changes that have been experimented moving here as an international student haven't been massive at all, and between work, between everything, is like to play around different kind of things. But at the end of the day, you need to prioritize yourself and to say, okay, I need to be more self-conscious of me or about what is good and what is not so good. And in that order, I think that at this point I can say, okay, probably I'm not at my 5 to 5 version at that area, because as I said, it's a work in progress, but at this point I feel so much better, and I can say that, okay, right now when 3 people or 4 people come to me to say like, hey, you can help me with that, and you can be on this, and you can attend to this and this and this, right now I'm trying to say more no and to put some boundaries and to say like, I need to prioritize myself and to set some boundaries and say no. So even I had the chance, beside of the tools that PebblePad provided, I've also have some time to go into different kind of workshops here with the university and external ones, when they show you and learn you how you can be like your best version of yourself, in terms of, okay, if I want to prioritize myself, I need to be conscious about my self-care and my self-management as well. So between workshops, between activities, between those kind of tips and tricks, you can learn to success at all. So I think at this point I could be more able to say no that I was able to do that in the past. When I think about the CPDs that I chose to do over my time here over the last year, I was always looking for those kind of things that would help me to improve in the areas that I was looking for. So, for example, one of the things that I chose to do, it was the Digital Marketing Academy that was designed by Google. It's a whole course that is really helpful to understand what kind of tools are like the vanguard ones in today's market area. So it was really, really good to have the chance to, okay, I will complement my current master's degree at this point, but it will be more from the tactical perspective, if that makes sense, because from my perspective, my current master's degree is also focused a lot in the strategic side or in the management side as well, between the theory, between how to produce reports, how to do this kind of different things here and there. But with this specific course, I had the chance to experiment, okay, from the tactical perspective, this and this would be the kind of tools that it could be necessary in order to success in the digital marketing area or field specifically. Also, from the other hand, when I moved in here to the UK, I was looking to do something completely new, something that it was like out of my comfort zone, something that I've never had the chance to experiment that in the past, and that's why I decided to join Framework, which is a housing association here in the UK, well, mostly in England, focused on the Midlands, and they are in charge to support the homeless reinsertion. So they build this kind of plans to support them to leave that homeless situation and find a permanent place to live. So I joined it at first as a volunteer for the Big Sleep Out, which is a one-day event when people are invited to spend the whole night out. And when I say the whole night out, is literally being in an open area outdoor. Last year it was made it into the race course here in Nottingham, and the idea is try to transmit that message of, okay, this is how it feels to be a homeless for one night. And over that night there are like different kind of festival, or how can I say this, like these areas or things that you can enjoy as a person there. So for example, different kind of small food trucks when you can buy food, or when you can have some drinks or beverage, something like that. And all of the money that is collected there then is used for the homeless reinsertion purposes. So it was really, really nice to be part of it. I never in my life had the chance to do that. So from different kind of perspective, it was really, really satisfactory. From volunteer to experiment that kind of reality as well. So after that big sleep out, I've also decided to join for a part-time job with them as a relief support worker, something that I'm doing up to date, and it's have been one of the best experience in my life, because in that area you have the chance to experiment how is that reality and how is to be a homeless, and you face it that the reality that probably you're living or the world that you have in your mind is not specifically the world for everyone, you know what I mean? So I feel that sometimes we need to be more conscious about what happens around us, and I think this kind of activity, if it's true that it's a part-time job, if it's true as well that have been helped me to develop some different kind of skills or strengthen those skills like empathy, like consciousness, and that ability to handle it different kind of personalities and behaviors, which have been really amazing. Also, in order to develop myself and embrace some of my strengths, I chose to participate in one of the activities that was hosted at the fall last year. It was a leadership and teamwork activity over a full day at the Peak District. So it was basically a whole day full of activities and different kind of features when you have the opportunity to develop your capabilities to deal with other personalities, deal with other points of view. So for me, it was simply amazing, had that experience. And right now now I can see what was the purpose of that. Because in that specific scenario, since there were different kind of activities across the day, I had the chance to work with groups, interact with them, propose my point of views, and also listen to the other ones, which was simply amazing. So last but not least, I also would like to talk about the importance of developing skills like ambition for your career. For my perspective, I've also decided to participate in some of the employability workshops. When I had the chance to have this first facing with the career assessments, the interview workshops, so it was really good to also embrace my confidence as well. As I mentioned earlier, my perception about my current master's degree is that the knowledge that has been provided are most focused on leadership and management. So the ability to work in teams and to deal with different kind of things when you develop some specific work is really key. So I have the chance to work in teams, deal with different personalities, deal with different point of views. So when you have that opportunity, it becomes a challenge, but it becomes also an opportunity to say, okay, how I will manage it, and how I can deal with that to take into advantage as much as possible. So now I can say that I have more skills to handle people, deal with personalities, and also know how to deal with different people opinions as well. Thinking about how in the future I will be able to manage high performance teams, I have to say that in every workspaces will be challenges to work, especially when you're surrounded with people from different backgrounds and different personalities. So the main takeaways that I can take from my time here and over my master's degree is, first of all, the time management, which is key when you're dealing with different kind of tasks and activities that you need to meet. Second one, I would say resiliency, because sometimes it would never be easy to deal with people personalities and to deal with different kind of scenarios or situations. And a third, I would say the emotional control. Those are the kind of things that I can say that I will be able to use my knowledge up to date to be successful in the future. Now than ever, people have become more conscious about the world that we live now, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. So, from marketing perspective, I think there always will be the opportunity to contribute that the world that we are now. So, and when I say that, it's not just for sustainability perspective or for how to be more conscious with the environment or something like that, which is a reality and it's something that from marketing we should be able to do as well. But also there are thousands of opportunities to help the consumers to feel better and to embrace their confidence. Especially I've seen it how the beauty brands, the social media, and all of the fashion brands as well start to become more inclusive, to say, okay, this is the kind of consumers that needs to be visible today. So I think create those kind of links between of the consumer reality and the different kind of diversity that we need to embrace today, that would be key in order to contribute from the marketing perspective for sure. During my master's, there was one of the modules that was focused on the research and analytics processes. So there was a situation that we need to work in groups and to define and figure it out, okay, what would be the kind of research method that we will use to succeed in this project. So since we were four of us, given and having different opinions and thoughts, at some point it becomes a bit challenging to be all at the same page, if I can say. So I think it was good to hear their perspectives and to have that chance to discuss and exchange different kind of opinions and point of view. But at the end of the day, the good takeaway is that we just synchronize and decide to learn how to hear, and not just to say, okay, this is my opinion and this is good and this is it is what it is. No, it's more about, okay, I'm open to hear, I'm open to propose, so let's get all together to find the proper solution. And that's exactly what we did after some discussions that we have over different kind of spaces. We just get all together, express our opinions, and have a final common thoughts, and we decide a good method and was a successful at the end. Thank you so much for your time. I have to conclude to say that at first it wasn't easy to move in here and to start a new adventure and start a new master's and with all of the things that are around it. But nowadays I can say that I feel so much more mature and I'm totally ready what my next chapter will be take me in. I feel more strength, so much confident and much more better about the tools and experiences that I have the chance to experiment here in NTU up to date. Thank you so much.